Let's see. Morning, guys. It's Sunday morning here for me right now. I don't know what time it is for you, but for me it's Sunday morning. And today I'm going to be working on Mr. Dose, my MR2 project. If you're new to my channel and you don't know who Mr. Dose is, he's just this guy around the way that I know. That might have come across the wrong way. It's my MR2 project car. So I'm going to be pushing him in the garage for hopefully the last time today. That's such wishful thinking since this car's never ran since I first bought it. Forrester Gump, I'm gonna need you to move out of the garage, please. Real mature. I'm gonna go get breakfast burritos.
Okay.
Are you the cat mom? Do you just whisper to cats in your
Oh
bed?
my god, apparently. There's so many cats in here, Sarah.
There's only 2. You're not crazy. There's just 2. Before I actually get working on anything, I'm gonna go get some breakfast burritos. Cause you can't do work on a Sunday morning without a breakfast burrito. That's just like unhuman. And then we'll get to working on the MR2 because I need those eggs to give me some energy to push the car in the garage. Come bearing gifts.
Oh, yay!
So I got a chorizo burrito. I know I said that wrong. With green eggs. I mean, green eggs. No, green chilies, eggs, obviously. Potato, mushrooms, grilled onions, and cheese. So I'm gonna eat this and we'll get to work. Good thing I didn't skip leg day. Time to push this MR2 in the garage. Here was nothing. It's rolling like super easy. Alright. Over the lip. Damn. That's hard. See if I can do this from behind. Or I don't mean it like that. So in roughly 60 seconds-ish, I'm going to give you a quick breakdown of this car from the day I got it to today so you understand why I am trying to get this thing to start, why it has never started, etc, etc. But I do recommend watching my past videos on this car because I put a lot of hard work into it, a lot of hard work into those videos, and there's a lot of good content that you guys will really enjoy. So there's a playlist up above on Mr. Dose. Okay, so 60 seconds-ish, let's go. Bought this car for $2,500 unrunning. The guy I bought it from was the 3rd owner since this thing was swapped. It's originally a non-turbo car that had a JDM Gen 2 3S GTE swapped into it. My ex-boyfriend and I, when we got this car, we went over all the wiring. We changed a few pins back at the ECU to make sure everything was wired correctly. As best as we can figure it was wired correctly after we fixed everything. Still couldn't get fuel, spark, or air consistently. We just had all kinds of weird problems. Ended up digging into the wires and the main harness that goes through the rear firewall. We found a bunch of corroded wires. We also had a bad turbo, a few leaking gaskets, so we decided to just pull the engine. It would be a lot easier to go through the wiring harness of the engine out. Pulled the engine, pretty much refreshed the entire engine, no internals, just new gaskets everywhere, sealed it up. I went through the wiring harnesses wire by wire, pulled them out of the car, pulled the dash out of the car, repaired all the wires that I found that were corroded or damaged or broken, which mainly were a bunch of grounds that I found in the engine bay. I repaired all those wires, replaced them, resoldered some new connectors on the ones that the connectors were bad, repinned a few pins that were also like really heavily corroded. Put it all back together, engine's back in the car now, and here I am trying to get this thing to start for the first time. Yeah, that probably wasn't 60 seconds, but good enough. You guys got an idea of what's going on. So first thing I'm gonna tackle right now, because when I tried to start it the other day, I had nothing. I heard the fuel pump prime, and that was it. Nothing happened when I turned it. The starter didn't bump. I don't even think the starter was getting power. So there's a wire underneath the dash that was cut from 2 owners ago that was spliced to a different wire to bypass something in the dash harness to make this thing start. And I think that's the disconnect between having a USDM dash harness and a JDM engine harness. Oh, looks like I gotta take the bottom of the dash apart so I can get to those wires. I thought I made this easy on myself. I guess not. Should be right. Yep, there it is. Fortunately for me, the other end of the wire that has the quick disconnect on it is in the most inaccessible part of this kick panel wiring fuse box distribution area. So all of this has to come out, and then this gray inner panel has to come out, and the wires on the back side of this, and it comes from the body harness going back to the car. And there it is. Right there. That's the other end of the quick disconnect. So now I just need to run a jumper and give this a test. I even found a matching wire from the old NA body harness. So it'll be the same color, which is good. So everything is loosely put back together now. All the harnesses are connected. I didn't tuck all the wires back up where they go. Just for now to troubleshoot, it's connected, and that's it. I'm gonna hook up the battery and I guess try to turn this thing over, see what happens. Swear to God, Mr. Dose, if you don't run soon, you're gonna get K-swapped. All right, here goes nothing. I'm gonna crank it, see what it does. Nothing. All right. It says 12.03 volts. But the question is, how many cold cranking amps do I have? So I'm gonna hook it up to a battery tender, just because this battery's been sitting a little while, try to freshen it up a little bit. And then I'm going to check for potential at the starter solenoid when I crank it. I hear the fuel pump, that's it. Well, let's see. It doesn't look like it's blown. Yeah, this fuse is still good. I mean, I can double check it real quick, but I can see clearly it's still good. So all these fuses still look good. Just making sure there's no corrosion. I mean, you can clearly see through the top that the fuse is good, but I just want to pull them off, look for corrosion. So AM1, AM2, the 2 main fuses are both good. So I'll pull it. This one is for AM2. Yeah, it's good. There's 4 wires on the starter relay. As you can see, there's white and black, red with white, black and a white. There is a ground, there is a source of power that comes from the fuse directly from the battery. There is a signal wire, which is the red of the white wire, which is the one under the dash that I just did that jumper wire for. That is your signal wire. And then there is, I think the other wire is what sends potential to the signal on the starter solenoid. I believe that's the 4 wires. I extended the wires with some scrap wire I had, and I attached it down here to the harness for my starter relay. So where it's plugged in is the signal wire coming from the ignition. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check to make sure I have continuity between my ignition and the starter relay. So that way I can know there's no break in that chain right there. And that will also tell me to make sure that this jumper wire under the dash is correct. I don't want to say correct because anytime you have to jump a wire to get a car to start, that's not correct. So if you look right here, we have a tiny, tiny bit of resistance, 0.2. So that is good. We have a good wire, 0.3, 0.2. That's good though. So we do have continuity and normal resistance. So that eliminates any worry that I am not getting a signal from when I turn the key to the starter solenoid. From that fusible link is the power going straight from your battery to the starter. which I don't have 12 volts there either, and the fuse is good. So there's got to be something disconnected. It just makes no sense why I would have no 12 volt signal at the starter or at that relay. This is a car that tons of different people have rewired things, cut wires, added wires, changed wires. So I can't just simply go off a schematic like this is a perfect situation on untouched car, because it's not. I'm gonna take this guy. It's a very small gauge wire, which is probably not the best choice, but it's all I got. So I'm gonna use this little jumper wire just to test real quick. I have it jumped to right here. This is where 12 volts come in from the battery to the rear of the car. That's what those two white cables are for. And then it's jumped to the terminal 2 of the starter relay. So this in theory should let my solenoid click if it's good. I'm sure my battery is probably getting really low in this thing. I have the tender hooked up to it, but it's probably not enough. Okay, so here it goes. We should hear an audible click from back there. Oh yeah. So there's a problem. There is definitely a disconnect between the starter relay and a 12 volt source, which on the schematic, the only thing I can see is fusible link 1.0Y, which I don't know the location of that on the car. I have a feeling it's somewhere along that wire, probably in a wire loom. That's gonna be very difficult to access. I wish I had a big enough wire I could jump to the starter and see if I could get this thing to start. I have jumper cables.
5 minutes later.
Starter is jumped. Here it goes. Huh. Yay! Well, it tried to crank over. My battery's dead now. It has 9.6 volts. I guess I just gotta find why there is a disconnect between those two wires and hope this thing charges up on this little battery tender. That sucks. This is a brand new battery too. Alright, I let the battery tender sit on the battery for about an hour and 20 minutes now. Battery says 12.2 volts right now, so we're gonna try one last time with those two wires jumped. While I was waiting for it to charge, I was looking around for this fusible link FL 1.0Y that shows on the schematic from Toyota, and I'm starting to believe that doesn't exist. I don't think there is a fusible link anywhere. I don't know why they have that on there, but I checked all the wires and I haven't found anything disconnected yet. So, and the 50 amp fuse is good up here, so I'm really kind of confused. Let's see. Holy crap. No way. Oh my god. That's a good sign. It's never ever done this. It sounds weird because I have the air box off. It's literally just the lid to the intake hanging, and the mass airflow sensor is slightly disconnected, so that's probably why it won't run. But I just blew a fuse or something because I just lost everything on the gauges. So we're gonna do a little continuity check. I have positive on the positive cable, and here's the negative cable. Ready? Watch. Oh, 0 ohms of resistance between the positive cable and the negative cable. Being that this is an MR2 and not a welder, I think we have a little bit of a problem here. There is a definite short somewhere on this car, and all the fuses are good. So that means somewhere I have a short. I think this is a good stopping point because I'm gonna leave the battery on the battery tender, and yeah, this thing's gonna catch fire if I try to start it again. But hey, at least mechanically, I think we're good. I think. So I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye.